G'day guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video, where we're getting into some pretty important times and dates for season 2023 of the AFL. It is the week of the prelim finals, so I'm here to give you my preliminary finals tips and predictions. And if you haven't been following along, well, since my first initial finals predictions, the whole overview, and well, also last week for the semis, I've got literally every tip correct so far in the final series, and so many people have been coming onto my videos, obviously before the game started, and especially in my finals predictions video. They're like, this isn't going to happen, no chance Port are losing to GWS, no chance Demons are going out in straight sets, no chance Saints lose to GWS. Literally have predicted every single game correct, and I'm only 3 games away now from predicting the entire final series correct. So it is pretty important in this video as well. I need to get these 2 games correct, and then it only comes down to one more game, the grand final. If I can get the whole final series correct, well then that, in my eyes, screw the home and away season for tipping. I was awful, I was horrendous. But that doesn't really matter if I get the whole predictions right before the whole final series even started. So I'm keen to get into my prelim finals. Obviously, I did just say I've got every single tip correct, so there's no point going through my semi-finals tips, as I did tip both of them to get up. First prelim final this week, though, it is between the Pies and the Giants at the MCG. Well, the Giants, they literally can go anywhere and beat anyone. So I don't think the home venue is actually going to be a problem for GWS. I don't think where they're playing is going to be the issue. I think who they're playing against is going to be the issue, and it is the Pies at the Pies home deck. Now, I don't think it matters where GWS play, but I think it matters where Collingwood play, and considering they're on their home terms, they're on their home ground, jeez, it would be hard to tip against them. But seriously, the Giants are so unpredictable. They've just knocked off the Saints away. They've just knocked off Port in Adelaide. Like, literally anything can happen this year. It's so unpredictable. And especially the Giants, well, coming from 7th position into this final series, they've already made it all the way to the prelim final. So could we see maybe what the Dogs did back in 2016 for the 7th place finishes? And can GWS maybe pick up their first ever flag? That would be extraordinary. But I'm going to actually back in the Pies to get this one done on their home turf. I just don't really want to switch up my finals predictions. I want to sort of keep my finals predictions going from my first official finals predictions tips video, because, well, I've gotten this far and I've gotten everyone correct, so I'm just going to keep listening to myself back from that video. I'm going to back the Pies to get it done at their home deck. Jeez, it's going to be a close game. I'm going to back them in by a couple goals. I reckon 12 points the margin. The Pies, well, they've had the week off, obviously, just to reset after their dub against the D's a couple of weeks back, which wasn't too convincing. A 7-point margin in the end against, well, just a pretty up there D side, actually. They did sort of fight for it, considering it was pretty low scoring, scrappy contest. But at the MCG, jeez, it's hard to go past the Pies, and I'm going to back in the Pies to get it done against the GWS Giants. Obviously, a few years ago in 2019 for the prelim final, it was Collingwood GWS at the G, and GWS did get up. So Collingwood do not have the greatest final series record against GWS, especially at the MCG and especially in prelim finals. So really can swing either way this one, and with what GWS have been able to produce this final series, it really would not surprise me if they were to get up. And it's just so crazy, like 2 of these teams, Carlton and GWS, we don't really see them make it this far in the final series, nor Collingwood. Like, we haven't seen them go too far in the last few years. Brisbane usually up there with the prelims, but considering there's a possibility of a GWS versus Brisbane grand final, how crazy is that? It's so odd. Like, GWS Carlton granny, it's so strange. But I'm going to back in the Pies to get it done at their home deck. Wouldn't surprise me if the Giants were to be able to get up as well. They can really travel anywhere and beat anyone, as it has sort of proven this year. They've won at 11 different grounds and they're up for the challenge. Coming into the second prelim final and the last one, obviously only 2 prelim finals, Brisbane v Carlton at the Gabba, Saturday at 5:15 PM. Bit of a strange bounce down. I swear these strange bounce downs only come in finals footy. Like, when was the last time we saw a 5:15 PM bounce? I don't recall one happening this year. But Brisbane at the Gabba, undefeated there all year. Literally no one has been able to knock off the Lions at the Gabba this year, which is going to be, well, a mental challenge for the Blues definitely coming into this. They do not want to be thinking about the record at the Gabba for literally everyone who's come over to Brisbane to face them, because no one's been able to get the job done. So the Blues obviously hoping to change that and progress all the way into the grand final, should I say. However, the Lions obviously had the week off after a smashing against the Port Adelaide Footy Club in the first week of finals at home as well. It would be really hard to tip against Brisbane here, as they are undefeated. Their record at the Gabba is just brilliant, and especially this year, literally have not lost a game there. And it has, like we've obviously seen in the last few years when it comes to finals, Brisbane, they just drop off at the very last gasp. And this is the very last gasp. So there's such a high possibility of the Blues to get this done, considering what they've just done in the last couple of weeks. Knocked off the Swans at the G in not very convincing fashion, but then knocked off the Ds last week in an absolute cracker, 2 points the final margin, and probably one of the best games of the year. The Carlton faithful obviously going to be travelling up to the Gabba, and Carlton, I don't recall whether or not they played Brisbane in Melbourne or at the Gabba this year. But yeah, look, Carlton, it's just all a mental challenge, I think, for them. And unfortunately for the Blues fans, I'm going to have to back in the Brisbane Lions, undefeated at home all season. And like I said, I'm going to follow along in my past footsteps. I did predict Brisbane to get it done from this stage onwards in my official initial finals predictions. And well, I literally haven't got a tip incorrect from that video yet, so I've got to follow along with it. So I'm going to be backing in Collingwood to get it done by 12 points on the Friday night, and on the Saturday night, I'm going to back Brisbane in to get it done. The final margin, though, might be a little bit tricky, considering the Blues, they're red hot. Like, seriously, it wouldn't surprise me if GWS and Carlton got up. Like, that's how bizarre some results have been this season. It wouldn't surprise me, and it's so crazy, like, if that was the grand final, GWS versus Carlton, it would be insane. But I'm going to back in Brisbane to get this one done. I reckon they'll get it done by 5 points. 5 points, Brisbane dub at home. Carlton are going to give it their all, obviously. Going to throw it all on the line, but unfortunately, well, the Brisbane Lions record at the Gabba this year is going to be too strong for the Blues. And I reckon the 2023 AFL Grand Final is going to be between Collingwood and Brisbane. So a bit of an interesting matchup. However, definitely, like, both obviously favourites to get it done in these prelims. And we've seen so many upsets so far in the final series. I reckon that's where it comes to a close now. And I believe Collingwood will get up by 12. And I believe Brisbane will get up by 5 points at their home deck, considering they haven't lost a game there this year. So it would be really hard for the Blues to get it done. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Maybe get a live stream up and going for maybe the Friday night game or the Saturday night game. One of the two. I haven't really streamed any finals this year, so I'd be keen to, get into one. And especially come this late in the season, the prelim finals, they're big games. So I'd love to get you guys along and have the live reaction on so you guys can watch the game with me. But that's going to be it for today's video. Obviously, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Some ripping content coming out across the next couple of days, including a weekly vlog and a goal kicking challenge as well. So stay tuned for that. Absolutely keen to drop those videos out. And I'll see you all in my next piece of content.